Shane Garrett is our ref.
Judge. Fighter, are you ready? Fighter, are you ready? Fight!
And we're underway. Bermudez chases Gugarty across the ring. It's a 24-foot square ring, a big one.
Gugarty said he wanted to come in and press the action, walk him down, keep pressing forward. The only problem is he's fighting a wrestler in Dennis, who, they're the grinder. He's a grinder coming forward also. It'll be interesting to see who can take control of this fight and make them fight their style. A large reach for Gugarty, but the wrestling definitely in Bermudez.
Little bit of a spin there, nothing doing. And now Bermudez again trying to pick up his opponent and throw him to the canvas.
Yeah, Dennis is really looking to clinch and control this upper body and work for those takedowns. But Gugarty promised that he would get 2 or 3 takedowns in this fight also. That wrestling has been a focus of his since getting cut by the UFC.
Knee from Gugarty.
Again, an interesting thing in these fighters where they work those knees to the leg. Very common in mixed martial arts, but could very well be a serious factor in an 8-man Grand Prix format where you have to compete 3 times in one night. And even if you win and you go back and your leg gets sore and you rest for a moment, you could end up with some problems.
Bermudez is so compact. You can see the strength that he possesses against the longer angular one in Gugarty.
Stylistically, there are some challenges to being a shorter guy having to fight a taller fighter, but he believes he belongs here. He believes that his undefeated record will translate over well to the higher level fighters, and so far he's being very competitive. He's being smart, making the fight be where he wants, and he's walking down Gugarty. He's being the aggressor.
Over 2 minutes in, and still this fight being contested on their feet. And it's basically a clinch fest up against that outside padding.
It's that pummeling, Bruce. Getting an underhook and an overhook, and they're switching. They're both fighting. They're both trying to get that bear hug, so to speak. They're both trying to get both their arms underneath the armpits and lock their hands where you can control the takedown. It's an advantage position.
A little short knee registered there by Bermudez. Now Gugarty spins it. That's through the ropes. And the referee jumping in there quickly, Shane Garrett. Now Gugarty's got his opponent up against the ropes, and there's a quick turnaround by Bermudez.
There was that promised takedown attempt. Gugarty almost got him down. They slip outside of the ropes, but not an easy man to take down, coming from a quality wrestling background at Bloomsburg University.
Bermudez missing with a wild right hand. Good footwork by Bermudez.
Gugarty's still going backwards, not the one walking down, not taking the center of the ring as much as I think he'd like to here.
That overhand right didn't do any damage by Bermudez, and then a big right Gugarty missed.
That's where Gugarty needs to fight. Outside of the reach of Bermudez, where he controls the distance, he can land those solid punches like that right hand he did.
If he can land a straight right there, man, he could knock his opponent right down, but he missed. Coming up on a minute to go in this first round.
Back to the clinch here. Again with the takedown attempt by Gugarty, but just not quite technical enough to get it in that instance. They're both in an under-over here.
Here's some knees being registered by Bermudez. He doesn't look at all intimidated in terms of the experience thing we talked about.
Not at all. His confidence level was an all-time high yesterday when we talked. He said, I belong here. I train with these guys. WEC featherweight champion Uriah Faber actually flew him out to train with him. So he's been in there, at least in the gym, with some quality opponents. And he knows he belongs, or he believes that he belongs. And so far, he's doing exactly what he said he would.
And he said that was a great experience, just learning from one of the best.
Yeah, when you go out there and train with Team Alpha Male, I mean, they have a stable of fighters.
Oh! And both fighters come tumbling out of the ring right on our table here.
Right on top of us at the end of the bell, too.
And Bermudez is okay. I don't know if Gugarty hit something or not. He appears to be okay, but it looks like Gugarty hit himself as he came out of the ring right on top of us. He's squinting, pointing to his head.
Gugarty's back seemed to kind of hit on the apron there, and his head came down onto that chair. It didn't seem to be too hard of a fall.
He's okay.
Definitely a shakeup, though. Definitely
he was shaken up, and because these 5 rings just were not firm enough.
Yeah, ultimately they got to tighten these things up, not necessarily Shine Promotions, but those cables there are metal, and they tighten them up. There seems to be a lot of give, and that.
Here's a look at it again as they come over to our side, and
that
bam.
Inside trip with the left leg. They go right through the ropes. He doesn't seem to hit hard. I don't see an injury there, but definitely a close call. Very interesting.
And I told you to watch that monitor, didn't I?
Yeah, and the handsome one, Bo One Man Army Taylor, takes a little kick to the head here. But I'm a tough guy.
Yeah, Bo handled it well. Our stage manager did a good job there.
Hey, that's a tough situation. That's a lucky thing there that he wasn't injured. And these are one of the little things when you're putting on a show that they're going to have to tighten up. But both fighters fine. And a crazy situation there. Outside the ropes, coming down next to us.
And a good job by Danny, our stage manager, who happens to be a professional football player for the Dallas Diamonds, and she handled it well.
Yes, yes. She single-handedly caught them both.
All right,
that or jumped out of the way.
All right, so we're back to action. I don't know how they're going to score the end of that. I think that would not be really used in terms of the judges scoring those last 5 seconds. And I don't really know if anyone had an advantage there, but Bermudez lands a quick right as we begin the 2nd round.
Yeah, if anything, they'll score that a takedown, but it might have been after time expired. I was too busy getting kicked in the head to know exactly what second we were at there.
Well, a takedown would be important. I don't think it will be registered.
Yeah, I think that was, in my opinion, that was Bermudez round. He got the takedowns. He controlled. He did well. He stepped up on the big stage, and most importantly, luckily both these guys are fine. So
knee by Bermudez, who came storming out of his corner to start this round. Gugarty up against the ropes again.
Great job by the referee there. Shane Garrett pulling on that rope, tightening up a little bit, trying to minimize that give for them to slide through there. And I'm certain that's something that they'll be able to tighten up in between the fights or during a break. So.
Oh, an overhand right hit the back of Gugarty's head.
So far, both these fights tonight in the Grand Prix tournament have brought some excitement in different ways, but Bermudez really stepping up here and figuratively and literally putting Gugarty's back on the ropes.
See if Gugarty can land a big right. Something to, there's a right hand, a short right, straight right hand. Now jab. At least that'll keep Bermudez at bay. Bermudez gets in.
Solid punches landed both.
Short combination there. Now Gugarty again, a jab. Some blood from the nostrils of Bermudez.
Bermudez continues to put that pressure on, coming forward. He's dictating the pace to an extent. He doesn't want to get stuck outside in that range, and he goes for a guillotine here.
Oh, he's got his man up. He drops Gugarty.
Uses it as a takedown. It's going to be tough to finish there. He is in half guard. But very smart of him when he lifted Gugarty up, and might not have had it sunken enough. He uses a takedown to slam him down there. And now trying to block that arm and pepper him with those short lefts there. Oh, he uses his left leg. He's blocking that arm.
And look at that left hand. He peppers 3 or 4
unanswered shots with that arm trapped in beneath the leg.
Towards the center, guys.
Good technique strategy by Dennis.
Referee trying to get him to move towards the center of the ring.
Move back to the center of the ring.
They're going back now.
Same position.
We're going to get a break, and what the referee's going to do is going to put them back in the exact same position, but get them off the ropes.
Yep.
1 for the fighter's safety, and 2 to keep action going, so they're not getting caught up on those ropes or it's minimizing their mobility.
Here we go.
Gugarty known for a very good guard, an active guard, good flexibility. Fought some tough fighters in the UFC, but let's see what he can do for Bermudez, who admitted his weakness in MMA, or what he wants to work on a little bit, is that submission defense, being off his back if he gets put to his back.
Bermudez very aggressive with the right hand, getting some punches to land, others to miss, but still being aggressive. Knee to the thigh, and Gugarty trying to bounce off now.
Jumps to that guillotine, and Bermudez slides right out. That's the same guillotine that Figgett used to finish Crazy Horse, but Bermudez slid right out of it. Now he's on top, raining down punches, and he has Gugarty's back. With 1 minute remaining, let's see what he can do from here.
Bermudez up against the ropes again, trying to sink a choke in there.
This is a great position for Bermudez, because as the wrestler, he's got the jiu-jitsu guy's back. Right here, Gugarty offers no offense. He can't strike effectively. He can't submit Bermudez. Bermudez just wants to stay on his back. Right there, more punches.
He's rained punches down to the back of Gugarty's head the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, Bermudez kind of came over the top there, and Gugarty was able to sneak out the back and get it standing again.
Look how comfortable he is on his feet, too.
20 seconds left. Gugarty needs to make his mark. He needs to do some damage, score some points. 10 seconds.
Strong round again for Bermudez, who lands a right hand.
Still coming forward.
A couple of jabs.
We asked the question if Bermudez belonged here, if he deserved to be here. Well, I think he answered our question. Yes, he does.
Dennis Bermudez, look, he's still got a ton of energy, and he might need that if he advances. He'll have to win 2 more fights tonight.
All right, what we're seeing here is that front guillotine, and he's going to lift Gugarty up. He puts his hips in, and Gugarty leaves his feet and gets slammed. He's staying on top there. Tough to finish from there because you can't arch back, but he's going to use it to control the position. He gets an underhook. Little knee to the stomach. Gugarty jumps to that guillotine, arm in, and right away, he has none of it. Pops his head right out and punches Gugarty a couple times in return. Really solid job taking his back there. Hammers. This kid is for real. Gugarty, no slouch, takes his back. Very impressive so far.
And Gugarty was one of the guys that yesterday we were talking to a lot of the people around Shine Fight Promotions, and they said he could be the favorite.
Right. Coming out the UFC, he has some quality wins, some quality fights. He's beaten Matt Grice, who's a solid wrestler, Cub Swanson, so he definitely belongs.
But remember, he did take the fight on short notice on Monday. It could have been a factor. Let's go up to Ray once again.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 2 rounds of action, your winner by way of unanimous decision, and moving on to the semifinals of the Shine Fights Lightweight Grand Prix, the Menace, Dennis Bermudez.
He did it, Bruce. He pulled it off. Still undefeated, moving on to the semifinals.
So a unanimous decision for Bermudez, who's now 7-0. He's from Saugerties, New York, which is south of Albany.